Today we're going to have a look at the Timocco software, which is designed to target motor, cognitive and visual attention skills for children and young adults. The Timocco software is available for free and in full on all new Liberator Accent 800, Accent 1000 and Accent 1400 devices. This includes the full set of 25 games included with the price of the Accent. This replaces Look to Learn, which used to be available as a demo version on our devices. Timocco can be used with Eyegaze, NuPoint head pointing, through touch and via joystick. So today I'm going to show you on an Accent 1400 that has Eyegaze attached, but I'm going to show you how to access it through touch, which will work quite similarly to all the other access methods. If you're starting up the device for the first time, your new or your trial device, and you're accessing through the Exploration Wizard, you can head to Explore My Options, Unity, Target Practice, Timocco, and launch Timocco using this button. If you've already got a Unity vocabulary loaded, so I'm going to load a Unity file right now, I'm going to load Unity 60 sequenced. You can access Timocco by selecting the Tools key and hiding or showing windows, or hiding windows and getting out into the desktop. If you're going to be using Eyegaze or head pointing or joystick to access Timocco, remember to set your access method in the toolbox and the access method menu, and go in and set up all your access settings first. I'm going to stay with touch today. So Hide Show Windows takes me out into the Windows desktop. I've already got Timocco open, but when you've got it closed, you can double click the Timocco app from the desktop icon and minimize it and maximize it using this icon up here. So the Timocco games are divided into 4 levels based on complexity and the level of challenge of the game. So let's start at Group 1 and have an explore of some of the activities. We can start with basic activities that are designed to increase interest in the device and just help someone to get the hang of their access method and understand what it's like to look at the screen and activate something. So you might have something more static like Wake the Butterfly. With Wake the Butterfly, we have to look at the different butterflies or touch them to activate them. We can change our volume, which I've got quite loud at the moment, over here, and I can also change the volume on the side of my device. I might also prefer something like a star trail, which starts to give me some feedback that I'm activating certain areas of the screen. So I've got it muted at the moment. I can increase a little bit higher. And this would give us the same effect if we were looking at it with Eyegaze or using head pointing or a joystick to move across the screen. So you can see the level 1 activities don't require any particularly completing a task. It's more just looking at the screen and getting some feedback that you've looked at or touched the screen. We can go into the settings at the start or in the middle of a game and play around with the length of time of the game. So I might like to set it so that the game lasts a lot longer so I can get the hang of it. I might like to increase the size of the cursor or the symbols so that they're a bit easier to see. So let's head back home. I'm going to close level 1 and we're going to have a look at Group 2. So Group 2 requires a little bit more skill to find a target on the screen, and the different activities require different levels of complexity. So I might like the Swinging Monkeys activity, or I have to select monkeys either looking at them or touching them as they pop across the screen. So there's a lot kind of happening visually in this game. Another game that's got a lot going on visually and it's really quite attractive and noisy to help someone to really attend to the screen is the Bubble Bath. So in our Bubble Bath game, we have to reach out and pop our bubbles as they come across the screen. And this one's quite fast as well. If you're after something that's got a little bit less going on, maybe less loud noises and less visual changes on the screen. The objects game is a little bit more simple and the colours are a bit more subdued. So you can look at an object and it'll change colour and be replaced with something else. You can imagine if I was using Eyegaze or a joystick to move my cursor across the screen, then this is the kind of effect I'd be getting. So I can be continuously touching or looking at the screen and waiting to scroll over something. So let's close that one and have a look at group 3. So we're increasing in complexity again, and this is starting to integrate skills like memory, matching, and early concepts. So some of the ones that I like to have a look at: falling fruits, bit of an extension on the bubbles game. So I have to keep an eye out for fruits as they pop down from the sky and pop them into my basket. So if I was accessing via touch, I could look at touch the banana and then touch the basket. If I was using another access method, I could follow my gaze up to the banana and follow it back to the basket. Shoot for the stars is something that, if you're working to increase dwell time for your access method, could be quite a good one. I'll turn this one down a little bit. So I have to continue to gaze at whichever target that I want to aim for. So I was supposed to be aiming for the green target there, so now I have to aim for the pink target, and I continue to gaze at the pink target, or continue to touch and hold. Some of the games require matching or memory skills. So a simple game of memory, I might be comparing my cards. And I can do a simple memory game. So we'll close level 3, and then if we move all the way up to level 4, this is where we've got some more complex games that focus on the actual content of the game rather than the access method. So for those developing their skills with the access method at the early stages, levels 1 and 2 might be most appropriate, and then working to advance up to levels 3 and 4 as they become a bit more confident with the access method. So we could do something like skywriting. So we have to follow the purple star and actually create some letters. Another fun one is our beach ball, which is quite similar to break the ice. And this is a bit more of an arcade game. So I have to use my hands along the bottom of the screen to bounce the ball to try and activate the star. So I might have to try and get it at a different angle to try and hit the stars that pop up in the top row. So as you can see, we've got a large number of games available through levels 1 to 4. In our menu, we can have a look at some of our results of all of the different activities we've had a look at, how long we were playing the game for. If we open up one of our earlier games, for example, so let's have a look at our Star Trail. We didn't play this for very long, but you can see how long that we were actually looking at the screen for and how long we played the game for. So each of your different games will give you different kinds of results. Some of the games might actually follow the path of movement across the screen. So this can be useful just for getting an idea of how the games are being used, particularly if someone's using them independently and you want to come back and see how they've been going with them. So we can head back to our games, and when we've finished with Timocco, we can quit and head back to our communication software by selecting NuVoice.